News on WhatsApp Caribbean for Tuesday, April 7th, 2015. I'm Deanza Roberts. Coming up in this edition, mediation before litigation can assist in decreasing conflict and reducing backlog in court cases. No second appearance for Trinidad MP Amory Brown. Only new nominees will be interviewed in the second round of screenings for the constituency. And flood kills 6 and damaged thousands of homes in Haiti over the Easter weekend. In sports, Sunil Narayan cleared to bowl in IPL. We'll be back with these and other regional developments after the break.
Hey, check it out.
When it gets cold, feels like the end. There's no place to go, you know I won't give in. No, I won't give in. Keep holding on, 'cause you know we'll make it through.
In the news, Barbados Attorney General and Minister of Home Affairs Adriel Brafiff says mediation is an important component of improving access to justice in the region and reducing the backlog in courts. His comments as he delivered the feature address at the opening ceremony of Impact Justice Project Mediation Skill Training, which got underway yesterday at the University of the West Indies Caveville campus.
Mediation is an important component of our improved access to justice. The modern thinking is that we need to use as many mechanisms as possible to ensure that only the most serious of matters go into our court system. The ideal situation is to have only 20% of the matters set down for hearing actually reach the court system and use other mechanisms such as mediation to deal with these matters. You want to be the face of the community so that people are comfortable coming to you and stuff. There's a time when even organizing community cricket games that you could rest assured that you wouldn't have an issue in terms of disputes. I'm sure that many of you have noticed over the last couple of years that we're seeing more and more of our teams heading to the law courts over cricket disputes, football disputes, etc. And again, there's a role for mediation and many of these things and stuff.
His comments as he delivered the feature address at the opening ceremony of Impact Justice Project's Mediation Skills Training, which got underway yesterday at the Shell Suite of the University of the West Indies Caveville campus. That was Barbados Attorney General and Minister of Home Affairs Adriel Brafiff. Meantime, Regional Director of the Impact Justice Project, Professor Velma Newton, is concerned as to the length of time it takes for cases to be completed by courts in the region, especially if the litigants are poor and have limited or no funds. She says Impact Justice plans to devote large sums of money to mediation as an alternative dispute resolution mechanism to be used at the community level.
Mediation can be used to settle disputes in several community settings. In the village, by the ordinary citizen who takes a complaint to the justice of the peace, the pastor, or well-respected community leader. In the schools, by trade unions, in workplaces, and by gangs also, to resolve problems with rival gangs. By use of mediation, would-be litigants can save time and money by not going to court, since mediation is cheaper, and they have a part to play in reaching the settlement which suits them, since the mediator, unlike the judge, does not hand down a decision but assists the parties in reaching a mutually satisfactory settlement.
That was Professor Velma Newton, Regional Director of the Impact Justice Project. Diego Martin Central MP Dr. Amory Brown will not be making a second appearance before the screening committee of the People's National Movement, the PNM, later this month. The party's General Secretary Ashton Ford says that only new nominees will be interviewed in the second round of screenings for the constituency, but according to a TV6 report, it may not be all over for Dr. Brown, not yet.
He has held onto the seat for 8 years, but when he submitted himself for screening to contest a third general election in Diego Martin Central, Dr. Amory Brown's party didn't accept him. In fact, it rejected all the nominees vying for the party's candidacy. PNM General Secretary Ashton Ford confirmed that the screening committee could reconsider all nominees from the first and second rounds of screening and choose from among them, as it did with the Kamuto-Manzanilla seat. Alternatively, it could call for a third round of fresh nominees. Dr. James says it's difficult to make an assessment about the rationale for taking in so many new faces because the screening process is so opaque. He also says this isn't the first time the PNM has removed incumbents en masse. Think back to Penelope Beckles in 2010 and Fitzgerald Hines in 2007.
That report from TV6. U.S. President Barack Obama and Cuba's Raul Castro will have an opportunity for a historic face-to-face meeting at the Summit of the Americas this week. Ricardo Zuniga, the National Security Council's Senior Director for the Western Hemisphere Affairs, says there will be time for the leaders of Cuba and the United States to meet. Both Obama and Castro are attending the Summit of the Americas in Panama, which starts this Friday. Finally in news, the first heavy rains of the wet season flooded parts of the Haitian capital Port-au-Prince over the weekend, leaving at least 6 dead and damaging 8,000 homes. That's according to authorities there. Raging floodwaters swept 2 children aged 3 and 7 to their deaths in the Delmas district of the capital, and a 24-year-old woman was killed when a church wall collapsed on her house. 3 more people died in the western coastal district of the city. The head of civil protection in the capital region, Nadia Lockhart, says more than 8,000 homes had been flooded in the latest rains. Officials said the weather forecast looks less menacing for the remainder of the week, but Haiti's annual rainy season normally begins in April and more rains are expected. That's a wrap on news. Don't go away. Up next, a look at sports. In sports, embattled West Indies off-spinner Sunil Narine has been cleared to play in the Indian Premier League, the IPL, after successfully undergoing tests sanctioned by the powerful Indian Cricket Board. The BCCI announced on the weekend that the Trinidadian's name had been removed from the warning list of bowlers with suspect action after having his bowling action examined by a BCCI bowling review committee. Narine was twice called for having a suspected illegal bowling action during last September Champions League 2020 held in India and banned from representing Kolkata Knight Riders in the final. That was a wrap on sports. A recap of the headlines up next.
Hey, check it out.
When it gets cold, feels like the end. There's no place to go, you know I won't give in. No, I won't give in. Keep holding on, 'cause you know we'll make it through.
Looking back at the top stories making news, mediation before litigation can assist in decreasing conflict and reducing backlog in court cases. No second appearance for Trinidad MP Amory Brown. Only new nominees will be interviewed in the second round of screenings for the constituency. And flood kills 6 and damaged thousands of homes in Haiti over the Easter weekend. In sports, Sunil Narine cleared to bowl in IPL. Remember, for the latest in news, sports and other regional developments, log on to whatsappcaribbean.com, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Thanks for joining us. This was a Caribbean production.